Hello, guys. I kind of wish I could hear myself because I have the AC on for winter, of course, for warm. And I don't know if it's loud, if you can hear it. I don't know if it's loud. Let me know if you guys, I don't know if you guys can type. If you can hear it. Because I can hear it and it's very annoying. But hey, Fluffy, can you please let me know if you hear the sound of the AC, please, in the background, if you hear it? Because I will turn it off if you guys can hear it. Because for me, in my ears, at the moment, it's very loud. It's just that I don't know. And you know the thing about this AC, that I have an issue with this AC, portable AC that I have, is that since it's portable, it has the engine inside it. So it's very loud. And only I can hear it because I try to push it away as far as possible, but also the cord is very short, so you cannot push it like. But the good thing about it, that I cannot complain, is that I turned this AC and I left it on for like 20 minutes ago. I was like, okay, I'm going to leave it on so it can warm the room that I'm in. And the capacity and ability that it has to keep the room warm is really good. It's unbelievable. It's just that the price is that it's so loud. It's giving me a headache even. It's giving me a headache at the moment. So I'm going to have to turn it. I prefer to freeze, but I cannot stand the sound, I swear. And I had a friend that, he also knows about, he installs ACs and everything. So he was like, well, ACs usually they do make noise. But it's not the same when you have the engine, when you have it outside, so you don't hear it. If I had to be watching like TV or something in here with this thing on, I cannot. It's so distracting. It's so noisy. And I know there's other portable ACs that they are not that loud. I don't know, maybe it's mine, that if there's something wrong with mine, that it's extra noisy. I don't know, but I will have to turn it off because it's giving me a headache, and I cannot wait. Oh, thank God! Finally, silence. Finally, silence. I cannot. I swear, like I'm so. I will keep bringing the heater with me. I just left it to the cats today, but I will take the time and I will bring the heater with me, and I will use it whenever I'm cold. But that noise, I cannot stand. I cannot stand. I just cannot. Yeah, I do have one. Yes, I do have one. It's just that, I wanted to use it. I'm like in this. I have a bit of, a very negative experience with this AC. I tried to make it work. When it used to be like really hot in here. Remember in winter when I used to be here, and I told you guys like, oh, it's so hot in here. I don't know how long I'm going to be here because, guys, I'm melting. And if I turned there's an option that is like the fan option, that it's the one that makes less noise, but also that sort of breeze that it gives you when it's really hot in summer days. That breeze is not, it's not good enough. It is like it's just moving the whole, annoying heat that it's in the air already. So and also you remember that when I used to pull the cars, if I have a fan in front of me, like it would move it would blow the cars away. And it also affects my mic, I believe. So yeah, it's going to be, I will have to buy for this room. I will have to buy an AC that goes to the wall, the usual one. And this one I will have to sell it. I don't know. I don't know. And also it's really heavy to carry. I remember when we brought it upstairs, it was so heavy, like because it has the engine inside it, so it's really heavy. But for me, it doesn't work. For me, it doesn't work. Maybe for someone that that maybe they just don't mind the loud noise. For me, it's giving me headache, and I cannot work with that noisy thing. I cannot. It distracts me. Yeah, this kimono is going to be like my uniform, Fluffy, for the whole winter. Cold days is going to be my, like, I actually, my friend have it made for me. So I don't get cold, especially when I do meditations, and when I'm here. So I was like, oh, I could wear them in the live streams as well, because it's very cozy. It's very wide. I just have to work with my hands to not, you know, um, um, push everything away. But yes, it's very warm. It's very warm. Um, so yes, yeah, it's handmade. Yes, yeah. I don't know. She told me something that this has a Japanese name. This sort of a style that it has. This, it doesn't have buttons. It has this thing. that you attach like this. It has a name. I don't remember now. Yeah, the sleeves get in the way. Yes. Um, Also, good news. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. The live stream. I have the router next to me. We bought it upstairs, so it's supposed to be, a live stream without interruptions. I was rewatching the one that we did the last time, that I got disconnected. That there were a lot of moments of the live stream where I was freezing, or the image was a bit weird again. So yeah, I learned my lesson with that. Remember that I had it a lot of times here. So I was like, okay, I have no other way. I'm going to bring, the router here, So yes. I don't remember now then what it's called. Yeah, I'm sure they have a specific name. I don't remember. And I was like, when days, days that are when winter, is over, and the warm days come back. I want one that fits for the season. So I was like, I want a new one. So please. Hey, Bacano. Yes. I was fighting with this thing that is this sort of lamp that I had, that it had the effect of like as if you are under the water, underwater. And I don't know what happened, if it's the cord or what, but it's super sensitive. And there's moments where it disconnects. There's moments where I want to use, this is the remote, to change the colors, and they weren't working. So I was like, trying to make it work. I would push the button. It has a very fragile sort of button, and it wouldn't work. So I tried my best, and also, and it's not old. I bought it like, I believe I bought it like at the beginning of this year, when I was here. I remember when I was like recording here, I got it. And you know how I said that from now on, I'm going to do the live streams on Tuesdays and Fridays, not on the weekends. And I was so ready yesterday. I was like, okay, I have everything ready. You know what happened? We had, the power again. There was, the power didn't work. The electricity wasn't working again in my block. So I spent a lot of hours in the darkness and silence. I was so annoyed. I was like, no, I was supposed to start this week. It was supposed to be the live streams Tuesdays and Fridays. And oh my God, I guess, the power was like, no, without me, you cannot do anything. I was so annoyed. I swear. The little elephants, you can see them. Oh, my elephants, yes. And this that I have here, it's a singing bowl. It's made of quartz. This one. Singing bowl. somehow that singing bowl has survived a lot of moving. Thank God it didn't break yet, but it's very is fragile. So you have to treat it with care. Yeah, I got everything prepared. I locked Kali. I locked Kali inside my dad's house because she is so annoying. If she knows that I'm here, she's going to start meowing. She wants to come in, and it's really cold outside. It's very cold, so I cannot leave the window open. I cannot leave a door open or the curtains. So and also she has, since there's a lot of things, she's slowly like also wants to explore. She wants to jump on certain, that's why I hurried up. As soon as I got the furniture, I was like, I have to put things on top of it. I don't care what it is, but I have to put it in, on top of things. I cannot leave it just like that because Kali would, try to climb and probably destroy everything. So yes. And also it's really cold, guys, in here. I know that probably for some of you is like, wow, probably is it really hot where you are, guys? Is it like overwhelming, the heat? Or is it okay? Ah, okay. Yeah, 28, yes, it's okay. Yeah. Are you watching the World Cup, guys? As usual, for the last time that we won, my country won the World Cup, 4 years ago. I decided to not watch the match. I'm going to do something else. Um, as a sort of a good luck kind of, because every time I don't watch the match, they usually win. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't watch it. No, I couldn't care less, but a friend of mine has a crush on a Japanese player. Yeah, that's the one that is I seen TikToks. Yes, yeah. I don't know. I think that for me it's not attractive. For me, it's like a regular Japanese man. But well, there's people that they do find him attractive. Yes, yeah, Keito something. Yes, I should read, not for who is going to win, because actually I suck at that. The other day I tried to pull cards to see, which team was going to win. And I think that it was for, yeah, it was for South Korea. It was for the team, the first time that they played. It was South Korea against, who was it? The other team. Well, I don't remember now. Well, it was South Korea and the other team. Well, Korea, not South Korea. Is it South Korea? When you pronounce the, I only know that when it is in Spanish, it says Korea. Like the soccer team, it says Korea. So I wonder if in the translation you say South Korean game team. But well, yes, them, and because in Spanish it's like Korea, it's and I pulled one card each, and I actually got, for South Korea, I got the card of the Three of Swords. So I was like, oh my God, like a lot of suffering. And then from the other team that was against them, I pulled the King of Pentacles. So it was kind of obvious. I was like, okay, the other team is going to win. So I kept it to myself. I just did it on my own to see if it was going, how it was it going to be. And then I seen the results, and it was the total opposite. So I was like, what did I see? What did I see? Like, no. Yes, yes, it's South Korean. Yes, South Korean team. Yes, it's just that in Spanish, when there's these people from sports, like the journalists, and at least here in my country, we usually see the name Korea. Like when they talk about the team, they say Korea. They don't say South Korean. So, that's why I had the doubt. Maybe they were set to win. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, like definitely my cards are not made for this. Like, no. I mean, I just pulled one card each, but I was like, no, this is so inaccurate. Like, no, it's not my field of expertise, so I will not say anything. Yeah, Korea is South Korea, definitely not North, if that's what you mean. Yes, yeah, I know. It's just that I know that I know that it's separated, South Korea and North Korea, and for them that's very important. But I was watching certain like journalists, and they, every time you read about South Korea in the games, it says only Korea. It doesn't say South Korea in Spanish. It says Korea. So so sorry, it's so confusing, but like I know the difference and I know the separation, but I wonder if here the journalists, if they do know it, like especially when they type it, because I know that they know it from studying, I'm sure, but I wonder if people that sort of create the news, if they know that it's not just Korea, you have to say South Korea. Mm, yes, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe they say Korea because since there's no North Korea, they sort of sum it up like this. Um, yeah. So last night I was watching because my friend convinced me to watch Dazzling, the C drama. Um, because the first time I tried to watch the first episode, I didn't like it. I didn't even finish the first episode. I just watched the first 20 minutes and I didn't like the girl's character. Like I thought that it was, and there was something about them calling each other like they were cousins. So it was a bit odd. And then my friend, very kindly, she explained to me, she was like, if if you advance in episodes, it does get better. I love the story. This is why I love it. Um, Dazzling, dazzling. This is why I love it. She is annoying at first, but then, she sort of evolves, and it's really nice, the town. It's sort of like, she said it reminded her to Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. So about community, and a lot of beautiful things besides the romance, so I was like, okay, then I will give it a second chance. Because honestly, my first impression, it wasn't like I did watch the whole episode. I just watched the first 20 minutes and I was already annoyed by her. I was like, this is not, you know, it's not, you know, and also they were cousins I don't, and then I understood that they were not really like related, but I gave it a second chance and now I'm on episode 10, so it's going well. I don't know how many episodes it has, probably has a lot, but I'm on episode 10. So for me, you can sort of see if I like a drama if I reach the 10th episode. If I reach the 10th episode, I'm like I'm convinced, that okay, I will continue watching. I don't know when I'm going to finish it. Don't don't push me because I have to take the time to watch it. For me, it's not like I can binge watch. I try, but sometimes the episodes are very long, and sometimes I fall asleep. And but this one is really good. Ah, she has her same birthday. Oh my! I mean, I'm not. I think that I'm not annoyed at her. I'm annoyed at the typical character of the spoiled, the girl that comes from the town and she's like, you bugs, oh my god, you people don't have water, you don't have water in here, there's no AC in here, like those kind of things. I don't like it, when they behave like that. But it's true that she does evolve, and she's really nice. Actually, I must say, she could be one of my favorites. Besides, the girl from Pursuit of Jade. this girl, and in this sort of modern drama, this girl is very natural. There's something about her that it's you believe it, that she is evolving and she's turning into a more mature person. And that is just the start, that she gets very, picky. And honestly, I think that we all would be like this if we had to go through. But I don't know why the way it started, the first scenes were so, like, she wasn't acting like a girl of her age. She was more like, even the way she was dressing, it was a bit like she was acting like a child, like a girl, a little girl. And that's why I was like, oh my God, I don't like where this is going. Because I'm like, why is she acting like a child? And then she started to show, her character, her opinions. And I was like, okay, you're not that annoying. You're not that annoying. And it's, and also, the shooting of everything is so beautiful. It's really beautiful. And I think that another thing that I like, that I found very attractive, is that the male lead, he can fix things, literally. Not just, for her, that he's always there, to rescue her. He is a fixer in the sense that he works fixing things. And there's nothing that I love more than a man that does things. So he is very hardworking. He is very talented. He arranges things, electronics, and he's super skillful. And just, and I was looking at him and I was like, I love that, because I remember I seen this actor in Blossom, and on the contrary to that everyone loves Blossom, for me, I didn't like it. I didn't get the, I know that I'm the only one, but I was like, I don't get it. I got distracted and couldn't continue. But in this, in this sort of modern scenario, his character, I think that he's also one of the reasons why I continue watching, because he is so patient also with her. And how he helps, his mom and his grandma. There's a grandma, a very lovable grandma, the type of grandma in the dramas where you're like, oh my God, I hope that nothing happens to his grandma because I'm going to be heartbroken. And he's a gentleman, and everything. So I'm like, for him, I'm going to stay watching. Yeah, not the childish heroine. It looks really nice, Fluffy. Really, it's not for me. It wasn't like, I didn't struggle watching the episodes. I think that the first 5 that I watched them, I took my time. I didn't get distracted. I was very comfortable, because also I think that the romance, if there's romance, is also very slow build. So I like it. That it's not like, oh, I met you and I'm already in love. No, it goes through a process. And it's not like they are, the evolution, it doesn't happen right away. And I think that that's because it's so well done. And they are great. The actress, I don't know her from other things, but that she is, she's amazing, I must say. Very like realistic. Like once she started showing her true colors and also adapting to her situations, I was like, this girl is like, she has really good senses, It's like I'm starting to be a ruler for her. I want her to do well because she's doing the work. It takes her a while, but she's doing the work. Pancho Pircos in this drama, he's a fixer. Yes, yes, he's from the same director of Pursuit of Chae. I don't know. I think that honestly, for me, I have a thing with these C dramas or K dramas that they go back in time. When they go back in time to fix something, or when they go to the future, and there's something about them traveling in time, they lose me. They lose me. I just cannot. I cannot. Like, oh, well, I'm reliving the day over and over, and now I have a lot of information, and I'm like, I don't, I cannot. I don't think I ever watched a modern C drama, not fully. Yeah, that's the thing with me as well. Yes, I think that this is my first one, this modern C drama. For me, it's just that I just barely started, but for me, it's I believe it's the first one also, and I'm liking it. Like really, I'm like, wow, they are doing a great job, because I have been very disappointed by K dramas lately. So this, I'm also watching. That I was watching last night while the game was on. I was watching Doctor on the Edge, the Little Wook K drama. Also, the plot is not something that we haven't seen before. It's not something like, oh my God, this is, no, it's not like amazing, but it's Lee Jae-wook. I do like his acting. I do love the actress also. What is her name? Jin Jeon. Could it be her name? Shin Jeon. Well, she is great. She has a lot of charisma as well. So I'm watching it. I'm supporting Lee Jae-wook while he's in the military. I'm liking it. I like it. But it's not like, my God, like so good. Good thing they kept it to the end, because it felt so reductive for her character, as if she couldn't have been that amazing unless she was a modern woman. I don't watch much things these days unless I really feel a strong pull. Even the drama I started with Baidu, I haven't continued. Recently, I watched an HBO show, Love and Death. I think that I was recommended that show, Love and Death. I had been watching Widow's Bay. I almost finished it. It's a bit of horror and comedy, which is very weird, the combination, horror and comedy. I believe it's on Disney Plus, but I'm going to write it down. Love and Death, HBO. Also, on the same, like, I was thinking about, I canceled Netflix again because none of the things that are in there are my taste. I'm bored. So I'm like, I'm not going to continue paying. But I know that in July, there's a thriller, a Korean thriller, a K-drama that I believe it's mystery, thriller, maybe a bit of horror, and I liked the trailer. So maybe in July I'm going to, sign up again. I always go back and like with Netflix that is my relationship. But yeah. Oh, okay. I want to go watch it. Yeah, it rings a bell. Like I think that's a friend of mine. She told me about this. She was like, "You have to watch this." But yeah, there's not much. Something good. Okay, okay, okay. There's not much, honestly. I always find myself going back to watch things from the past lately, like movies from the 2000s, or I don't know if it's because I'm getting old. So I feel a bit of nostalgia for old. Um, for example, there's this movie that everyone is talking about that is called Obsession. I don't know if you had watched it, Fluffy. That is horror. Um, and everyone is talking about it, like doing reviews and everything. Honestly, I didn't watch the movie. I watched a sort of recap, and honestly, I watched an analysis of the movie on a podcast, and then I searched on YouTube and I found another YouTubers that I follow that they do reviews, and I found more fascinating the analysis of these people, content creators, or these experts on movies, and then there's people that maybe they take it far, like on the psychology of it, and why it's trending, why it's so appealing or so popular, and and honestly, I'm fine with that. There's something about me being like, yeah, I think that is more valuable, it's more important to me to hear people, analyze it more than go and watch the movie. Like I did watch a short version of what happened, and I'm fine. Like I don't need to go to the theaters to watch that, especially because it kind of reminds me of this movie, Talk to Me, the one with the hand that granted you wishes, that it had very violent parts. And I know that this movie also have, you know, parts that were very disturbing. It's not about being scary, it's disturbing. So now I think that for me, I'm very sensitive. So for me, horror, it used to be about, not, I don't want to say jump scares, because it could be a bit of that, like oh, like it sort of makes me feel something. But when you show me some parts that are disgusting, like some, you know, um, just disgusting scenes, like body parts and something happening to someone's eye, um, torture. Let's not even mention animals. If there's animals, I will not watch it. If there's something happening to an animal, I will not watch it. And I think that that's why I'm like, I don't like this kind of new horror, what they call horror, because it's a horror that it is it's not, it doesn't help you like liberate something. When you used to get scared for scary movies or something like this, especially when you're a child, there was something about like, oh, whoa, that was scary. And now with these movies, I think that it's like, I want to vomit. like ugh, like just awful people doing awful things and getting away with it, and just being numb to the whole situation. I don't know. I think that as a fan of horror, I'm not enjoying it. I understand what they're trying to do. I get it, but for me, maybe I'm old and I'm not connecting. I typically am not attracted to horror movies because it's often too grayish and ugly and kind of like you say, disgusting looking. I don't want to watch that. I hate torture scenes. Me too. Same exact the same for animals, but actually the few I watch, I like. Yeah, Mike Flanagan. Yes, that one I do like also. Yes, I agree. The Haunting of Hill House. Yes. Midnight Mass. Blind Manor. Yes, I loved all of those. Yes, and I cannot wait for him to bring something more because I liked those, and I like that he used the same actors for other seasons. Yes. Midnight Mass was amazing. I remember that one. I remember. I don't know when it came out, but I did binge watch. I did binge watch that Midnight Mass. Yes, we talked about it. Yeah. Yes, the atmosphere, and also I think that if we look back at all these sort of series that, especially like Americans or maybe that speak in English, sort of series, don't they all remind you of Stephen King stories? Like for me, it had always been like I'm watching Widow's Bay, and Widow's Bay it has a lot of what a Stephen King book would be about. Except that they do put comedy in it, so it was very unexpected to have comedy horror. At first, I was like, "What am I supposed to feel in here? Like, am I supposed to laugh or am I supposed to expect to be more afraid?" Like, I was so confused at first. I was trying to pay attention. I was like, "Okay, this seems creepy, but why do I feel like I want to laugh? Or why do I feel like this is hilarious?" And so I try to accommodate. It's so weird. Oh, Penny Dreadful. What a great show, Penny Dreadful. Oh my God. Like that one, I was a bit scared. I was a bit scared of I couldn't watch it at night. And I remember that the bad thing is that because of my work schedules, I usually would arrive home very late. Um, and I had a friend that he would send me the episodes. He would record them. I don't know what he did because back then we used to, use pen drives. Like he would, get me some episodes, or he would download something. I don't know how he did it, but he was great at finding, these episodes that, for example, in Argentina, it's really difficult to find certain series, because they are not very known here. So he would go through the internet and find them. And I remember he would hand me, the sort of the pen drive, and I would be like, "Oh my God, as soon as I get home I will watch it." And I was like, "Yes." And it was like midnight and I was afraid of that woman. Oh my God, I was afraid in certain scenes. Like I was like, "Oh my God, this is a lot." This is a lot. Yes, the Stranger Things also. Season one, for me, it was, I say season one. I did continue the others, but season one was, it was like I remember the first time I heard the song, the title song of that show, when the letters with the title of the show would appear on the screen. That feeling, the music, the soundtrack, like, oh my God, it was so good, so good, so good. Yes, like Winona Ryder's character, her wanting to find her son, her desperation, the kids, everything was wow. Yes, I did see it. Yes, yeah, I did went through a lot of long hours of recap, honestly, of the other seasons to be ready for the finale. But I did watch it. So yeah, I kind of cheated because honestly, I didn't have the willpower to just watch one episode after one episode because there was a point where I was like a bit bored. Also, they took a lot of years, to complete it, so they lost me. When they take a break, usually I forget that some series, people that are fan probably they know they are like like they're coming back. And for me, I think that the only series that I was very, diligent and I was like, I'm waiting for them was Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones, I did wait for all the seasons. I was like, okay, it's going to take what it has to take, but it's going to, I'm going to wait for the seasons. Um, and I would wait for the premiere of the episode, one episode after another episode, and I would, I would remain consistent. But then when they take longer breaks, I just cannot. When they are like, yeah, maybe we will be back, maybe not, maybe it's going to take longer, you know. Yes, I couldn't stop crying on the night I watched it. Yes, and the night after because of what happened to 11. Yes, I couldn't believe it. I thought at any point it would be revealed she's actually like, yeah, I thought the same. Yes. Actually, me and my niece, that my niece is a huge fan, we watched it together and we were both sobbing. And actually her mom, she was like, why are you guys crying over this? And I was like, you don't understand, yes, yes, a whole, yes, it feels like she grew up with us. Yes, yes, she was our baby. Okay, guys, I'm going to start because it's been an hour since I have been talking to you, and I'm going to do the readings. I do have some people for today. So yes, this is part 2 of duos that make each other shine. And I do have Cortis, James, and Martin. I have Park Bo-gum and Kim Yoo Young, Jihyun, Wook, and Jung, Jihyun. I have now a Chinese actor, so bear with me. I have San Yuxi and Cheng Yi. I have Jujon Seok and Soobin, or Chesubin, I believe it's. Xiao Zhan and Ren Min, Meng, Ziyi, and Yunrui. That is the couple of Blossom. 17, Minghao and Shen Yue, and I have Dove Cameron and Damiano David. They are a couple. The other day, someone, commented on a TikTok that I did for a reading a couple of years ago. I believe I read for Dove Cameron and her, I believe now his fiance. So they were asking for an update. So I'm going to do it today. But yes. They are a couple. Okay. Okay. Cortis, James, and Martin. Let's see. James and Martin. Wait, do you see the cards? Wait. Okay. From James, we have the seven of cups, the strength card, and the 6 of swords. From Martin's part, we have the lovers, we have the 10 of swords, and we have the page of pentacles. And then the relationship, we have the 10 of wands, that is says unbelievable burden. Unbelievable burden. So yeah, I'm kind of like, my God, like, they really feel the burden. I think that could it be that on these guys there's like an extra burden? There's like maybe more things are expected from them than other members, because I see them very, very worn out, like very worn out individually and also in the relationship. I think that one thing that they share or that they have in common or that they have to carry together is the burden. Probably a lot of responsibilities, or there's a lot of things to do, or there's a lot of things that they have to, it seems like they cannot say no to, whatever they're producing, or they are, and it's sort of, I think that they could be a bit like, it's like they get together to talk about how heavy things are, or how busy they are, or how, this is, oh my God, this is demanding, or oh my God, this is a lot. I get this overwhelming feeling of like, yeah, we are carrying with a lot. Or maybe there's a lot of like expectations on these guys. And I think that honestly, I feel overwhelmed. And I'm not, I cannot imagine how they feel, because they are very young. So I think that honestly, their relationship, it's, they are super busy and they're busy together. So there's a togetherness. There's like, I don't know if they are like a duo, or they are like the duo that does a lot or does a lot together. But I think that they have their internal, things to worry about. So I don't see them even expressing it to each other. I think that their circumstances are similar, but at the same time, they don't talk about what troubles them, actually. It's just a very silent, awkward, like, well, it's our duty. We have to deliver this, we have to make it, we have to do this, people are counting on us, they said that they're waiting for us, so it seems like, we don't have time to go deep into our connection. We just have to endure this and be better. Yeah, in the case of James, 7 of cards, the strength card, and the 6 of swords. So, I think that when I read for James, was it James or was it Martin? The one that I read for lately, his most recent reading. That I got this card that I got his cards, and he sort of made me laugh, because his energy seems so detached. He seems very interesting the way he processes things. His mindset is not like the usual idol, or the person that is sort of marvelized by, fame, or I think that he is, with the Seven of Cups, is giving me Pisces also. Like, it's a lot of evasion of, like, yeah, we do have a lot of things and we could choose from this and this and this, but I'm kind of confused. I don't know. I just know that I'm holding on. I'm holding on and I'm advancing. I'm a bit confused in this point in my career, but I just keep advancing. Or probably, if Martin tells him, like, we have to keep, working, or we have to keep doing this, he is a very strong and resilient guy. He's like, okay, I don't know what we're doing this, but I'm with you. You got me. I got you, and you got me. It's just that the Seven of Cups, it feels like, probably for James is a bit confusing. Like, what is it exactly that they want from us? I think that and also there's a bit of intelligence in this, because I think that probably James is able to see a sort of pattern in these very busy times, probably successful times, but he's able to see through all the mask or through all the pretendings. So I think that he's someone that he's like, well, it's kind of interesting, that they leave all these things to us, that they trust us so much. We are just young people. There's something about them being really young, honestly. Like, and I see that they already have the 10 of Wands, so I'm like, why are they so burnt out already? Like, they just started. So maybe they are being given, like, sort of grown up. I mean, they are young adults, but it's giving me like they have like responsibilities that is more for people that are like more experienced or older. So it's like, why are you giving these children these heavy responsibilities? It's not about the baby them, but it feels heavy. It feels like, okay, you are expecting a lot from these people. It's like you're expecting them to act like CEOs, and they are just, yeah, they are young people that they are living their dream, they are achieving things, but at the same time, they are young, they still need their moment. Why are they rushing their processes? Why are you rushing it? This is not, you're not helping these guys mature. Um, I can see the relationship being affected, because they are confused. Like, oh my God, we have a lot of things to do. Yeah, from Martin's part, yeah, the lovers, the Ten of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, him also not knowing, with the lovers being in the middle, is he like a mediator kind of? With the lovers, he's like, yeah, sometimes I feel so helpless. They leave me, they leave me in charge, or they leave me to give answers to certain things or to give guidelines to certain things. And I'm like, I'm so lost as you are about things. But the thing with from Martin perspective, at least, the Page of Pentacles, I think that he is trying to be very studious. He's like trying his best to be a good fast learner, that he probably, takes lessons, or he adapts very fast. And if he has to study, he studies it. Or if he has to, take different courses to get it, he sort of is like, okay, I will go and study on this, even though I don't have experience. Okay, I will go and do something about this. Okay, he's very hardworking. It's just that maybe in his mindset, he is a bit overwhelmed as well. Because it's like, are you sure you want me to do this? You want me to create this? You want me to be in charge of this? Okay, I'll see. And definitely, Martin is very smart. It's just that he's still young. Do you see the Page of Pentacles in here? Yeah, he can be very hardworking and driven, and just, a great worker, like a great productive person, but he's still a page. He's still a child. So yeah, it feels like, it's a lot. It's a lot. And the relationship is like Can you believe how many things we have to sustain? Right, guys, I'm going to remove this. I want to change it before, it runs out of battery. Okay, I'm going to continue with Park Bo-gum and Kim Yoo Young. Let's see the dynamic. Okay. From Park Bo-gum, we have the cards of the Two of Swords, we have the King of Swords, and we have the Moon. From the part of Kim Yoo Young, we have the Six of Cups, we have the Devil, and we have the Ace of Swords. And then their connection, we have the Hermit. It says, quest for personal growth. So could it be that both of them are actually very introvert, like loners? Because I'm like, why is this so disconnected? Like, especially from Park Bo-gum's part, I don't know if, could it be that he's not sure about something that he has to do with her? Like, maybe he has like a commitment. He's like, I wonder if he's busy with something else or if he's caught with another circumstances that it's somehow putting him in a place of doubt and indecision. Like, I don't think I'm going to make it, or I don't think I'm going to make this with you that you wanted me to do with you, or that maybe other people wanted them to collaborate. I see that he has issues about making this. We also have the Moon, so there's a lot of doubt. Like, I don't know what will happen of me. So he's very indecisive, maybe about a future collaboration. Could it be? Very indecisive. So I wonder what happened to him. Yeah, because from the part of Kim Yoo Young, we have the Six of Cups, we have the Devil, and we have the Ace of Swords. So I kind of see her asking him, like, oh, I thought that you were going to do this because you said that you were going to do this. So, like, what is stopping you? With the Six of Cups is the past. Like, I remember that you told me that we were going to do this, but, what is keeping you sort of prisoner, that you cannot say no to this. Or that you have to say no, or you have to postpone. Could it be like he has to postpone his activities, or there's a contract or something? I think that she knows. I think that definitely, there's something that the communication is open between them, because from her side, we have the Ace of Swords. So probably she does know things about his life or about his, future endeavors that maybe he does tell her. They do communicate, but they probably haven't tell people. Or maybe if there's like, if there's like an inconvenience, I don't know. I think that it could be in a schedule of his that he's not able to set himself free But he's very doubtful. He's very doubtful. Of course, that seeing this skin of sorts also from his part, I think that he's also a very honest person. He's a very honest young man. So I think that maybe he's trying to fix this to make it, to work with her again. But there's something about him not knowing how he's going to resolve this. That is somehow keeping him a bit worried. Like, how do I do this? And she kind of knows, she knows. She knows the reason, or she knows that there's an inconvenience, and there's like open communication between them. Like her also, like maybe reminding him, maybe he forgot, and she's like, remember that we have to do this together. Because there's like a past, do they have to record like a part 2 of something that they did together? But there's communication. I think that they are very close friends, because I see that they are talking about this sort of issue or conflict that one of them may have. But it's not conflict like serious. It's conflict of like, I cannot set myself free from this commitment, so I don't know if I will make it. And then we have the hermit. So see, some of them, maybe one of them needs a long time to somehow analyze their situation. Quest for personal growth. Maybe there's another opportunity that he has, and he has to decide. Yeah, because from her part, she's like, yeah, we talked about this. I'm aware. I remember what you told me. Also, she has great memory. She's like, I remember what you said to me. And I don't know. But it's because there's a lot of swords. So definitely it's about information. Maybe one of them needs like, yeah, you need to, keep me updated. What are you going to do? To please let me know. So yeah. Okay, I'm going to continue with Jihyun and Jung Jihyun. Jihyun and Jung Jihyun. Okay. Jihyun, Jung Jihyun. What is going on with the men? The part of the men, like, are they burned out? What is going on with their sort of like, energy? Like, why are they so doubtful? Like, what is going on? Are they going to work together? Because I see that there's a lot of movement. They probably are going to start like, could it be like a tour promoting something? Jihyun and Jung Jihyun. Yeah, from Jihyun's part, we have the star, we have the 2 of swords, and we have the 10 of wands. So he's already tired. He's already exhausted. He's already burned out. He's like, oh, wow. Could it be that maybe his part, if he plays a part, it takes a lot from him, like a lot of effort, physical effort? because he's like, yeah, I know I'm an expert, because we do have the star card. So he's like, I know I'm an expert. I know I've been in the business for a long time, but I'm kind of running out of air here. Okay, from her part, Jung Jihyun, we have the Four of Pentacles, sorry. We have the Three of Cups, and we have the Page of Cups. She loves him. Could it be that they know each other from before? Like they had worked together before, because she loves him. She's like, you got this. And she's like, let's go drink. We have a lot of cups. So I'm like, they could be like drinking partners, because there's something about her being like, you need to relax. So let's go drink. Let's go drink. I'll buy it. I'll invite you. I'll invite you. She's so funny. She's so funny, and she's very stubborn. She's like, we have to do our best. So, don't stress yourself. Like, why are you stressing yourself? And he's super stressed. I can kind of see him. So I wonder if maybe there's a lot of work, or there's something that he has to do that is very challenging. So he's like, I don't know if I will make it. He's tired, exhausted. And their connection, we have the Knight of Wands, that it says journey, a very passionate journey. So yes, a lot of yes, it's like there's no stopping here. They just started, or if they are working together, the journey has just begun. So yeah, he must save his energy. He has to learn, yes, to use his energy, his charisma. He is a star. He has the star card. So definitely this is someone that he's like, I got this. But, he probably is taking him a lot to recover. Maybe there's certain scenes or certain things that he has to do. Could it be traveling, that there's a lot of traveling? Because I see journey. So I wonder if they're going to go somewhere to promote this. And this is why it feels like, oh my God, I'm so tired already, and I just arrived. But in the case of her, she's so happy. She's so happy. She's like, you're not going anywhere. You're coming with me. We are going to celebrate this. We're going to celebrate this. Like, let's celebrate. She is very lovely and very she has a lot of energy, a lot of positivity. She could be a bit on the impulsive / a bit of the childlike, kind of, she could make fun of him also. Could it be that they are the same age or something like this? So there's something about her being like, oh, at your age, you're not supposed to feel so worn out, we are still young, something like this. It's just so funny. But yeah, there's a long road ahead for them, to keep, pushing this, if this is a project that they have together. Is really cool. I think that they also are very supportive of each other. There's a lot of energy. I think that they got each other's back. It's just that, yeah, one of them is more energetic than the other. Probably her. She's much more energetic, funny, adaptable, and him, probably he's a bit much more sensitive, he has his things. Okay, Yuxi, and Chen Yi. Yuxi and Cheng Yi. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of defensiveness from their part. Okay, from the part of Yuxi, we have the Three of Pentacles, we have the Hermit, we have the Ace of Cups, and from his part, for Cheng Yi, we have the Fool, we have the Ace of Swords, and we have the Eight of Wands. And their connection, we have the Seven of Wands, that it says, hold your ground. Hold your ground. Hold your ground. So yeah, could it be that they had to defend themselves or defend the work that they did together? Because I feel like, you know, their experiences sort of like separated them at some point. Um, but I think that the overall, you know, collaboration was good. But I think that she was, you know, there's something about the girl just feeling like an outsider, you know, with the Three of Pentacles and the Hermit, just feeling very isolated. Like I don't think that these people get me, or if they treat me differently. So I feel different. I don't feel like I belong in the teamwork, you know, or maybe there was a team and they made it, you know, they made their decisions and they left her out. Could it be something like this? You know, her feeling a bit like out of place, you know? But then we have the Ace of Cups. So I think that at the end, she was able to let go of this part of her not feeling well received, maybe. Um, or maybe because we are talking about their connection, you know, and from the part of Chen Yi, I see him just a bit like disconnected from whatever she was going on, it was going on with her, you know, him as a fool and the Ace of Swords, you know, him probably being much more like free or spontaneous, or even, you know, it's like he adapts very well to unexpected um, circumstances. You know, he's also very. I think that he was able to have a certain freedom. Maybe if he worked with her, there was something about his character being more free, or having, you know, a kind of like performance that allow him to be more spontaneous or more creative himself. And the Ace of Swords is like, yeah, you know, I had my differences, but I did speak up, or I did say what I wanted to say. Um, so I think that he probably had more freedom, or he had more influence, you know, to maybe if there was something that wasn't correct, you know, about their work, he was like, okay, I will talk to someone that I know and they will fix this. And there was something that maybe, you know, if he demanded something, you know, somehow, you know, the news would fly and he would get, you know, he would get an answer, or he would get like, you know, a good result from his part. But for her, I think that initially she felt a bit lonely. She felt a bit like, I don't know, these people, or maybe if they already were like a group of people, you know, with him and others, she felt a bit like, oh wow, like I don't know how to, you know, engage with these people. But later, you know, there was a lot of love, a lot of love. So yeah, I think that honestly, they could be that they have a sort of like friendship. Could it be? But the Seven of Wands, it's about like there's. I don't know if there. I don't see people getting in the middle of them just becoming closer. But Seven of Wands is like this was an experience where they probably had to defend themselves. Could it be defend from the fans or defend from some crazy people? Because you know the Seven of Wands is about them, like the card says, you know, holding their ground and somehow, you know, asking for respect. Like, can you please respect me, or respect my boundaries, or respect my work, please? So I think that they could have gotten along better, or they could have, you know, more moments or more interactions. But there was something about them just having two different experiences while being together. Maybe they were under the same roof, and the treatment was very different for them. But there's no like hard feelings, nor no. Actually, there's a good vibe. You know, there's something that also communication is open. They probably like each other a lot. There's no prejudice, no nothing. There's good vibes, a good chemistry from them. It's just that, you know, with the Seven of Wands, maybe there's an interruption to them continuing being friends, because I see them defending this, or maybe if it's not them, it's one of them having to defend themselves. Okay. Going to continue with Jihyun Seok, the actor, and Chae Soobin. Let's see. Jihyun Seok and Chae Soobin. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. From Jihyun Seok, we have the Death card, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Sun. Then we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Knight of Wands from her part, and we have the Four of Swords. And then in the middle, we have the card of the Five of Cups that it says regret. So, yeah, I mean, I believe I read for them. I believe it's been a while. But the thing with why I think that this is going to be the last time that I read for these two, because honestly, the cards are like, they moved on. So I don't know if there's people that they still think that there's like a possibility, there's something romantic, there's something in here. I don't see it. I don't see it. And so, I think that from the place of Ju Jung Seok, with the Death card, definitely, there's, if there was something, an interest, something, there's definitely like an ending, a transformation. He's focused with the Eight of Pentacles and the Sun. He's focusing on his new projects. He continues working. He's focused on his career. He's focused on his endeavors, and he's very happy. So I don't think that there's no hard feelings nor anything. I just think that he moved on, or there's a sort of like, there's a change, a transformation in his energy. So he's in another state, and I don't see a connection with her. I think that there's good vibes, but not like romantically there could be something. From her part, we have the Page of Wands, we have the Knight of Wands, and we have the Four of Swords. So I think that yeah, maybe also from Chae Soobin, there's something about her. She's very playful with him. There's something about like she could reach out to him, or even being like, do we do this together? Or maybe if you guys see them interact together. But seeing this Page of Wands and this Knight of Wands as well, I think that there's something just very interesting with Chae Soobin when it comes to Jihyun Seok. She always comes with someone. It's like, it's like if they hang out, there's always another person with her, or there's like, it's them and another guy. So, and I don't think that this is her partner, but I think that there's something about her not being alone, never being alone with Jihyun Seok, or if they were alone, there was someone else being mentioned. Like there's like, and I think that this comes from her part. She always brings someone along. So it's like, I don't know, it feels very, very like there's always someone, it's like, I don't know if it's like so people don't talk or speculate. So she's like, I'm going to bring someone with me. But yeah, it feels more like if we hang out, it's more like to have fun, and it's just very, it's very nice. She definitely has fun, but it's also a bit childish. It's not romantic at all. It's like, we have fun together, and that's it. Four of Swords, if she had at some point any kind of interest in him, she's not doing anything as well. I think that she's also a bit, she's passive. There's something about her. Maybe, initially she has this very like vibrant attitude, funny, goofy, but then she doesn't do anything. If she ever had like a sort of interest in him, it's not to achieve something, with him. So I think that no, no. We have the Five of Cups in the middle. It says regrets. So probably there's something about their dynamic changing. Them, there's something about the relationship that it feels awkward. This is why I'm like, I'm not going to read for these two again, because I feel awkward having to read this. I feel like, people change, people advanced people are in another. I think that they moved on. Is like, and the thing is that you can see them interact because there's a familiarity here. It's not like they will not talk to each other again. Actually, there's something that they have in common, activities. I don't know, something fun, but it's not romantic. So yes. You should move on also because the cars the cars are like also, if you keep shipping them, move on, guys. Just there are certain ships that move on. Okay. I'm going to read for Xiao Zhan and Ren Min. Xiao Zhan and Ren Min. Let's see. Xiao Zhan and Ren Min. Like, what happened to these two people? Like, a lot of, like, whoa, a lot of obstacles, a lot of. Okay, from the part of Xiao Zhan, we have the 5 of Wands, we have the 3 of Cups, and we have the Lovers. So a lot of conflict from his part, a lot of drama. From her part, from Ren Min, we have the 10 of Swords, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the 2 of Swords. So, oh my God, are you sure these two? 8 of Swords is a crisis. So their connection went through a crisis, went through something. I don't know. Is it true that they make each other shine? Thinking about the name of this series that I created. Next time, people, please, if this is, maybe I will reformulate it better next time. I will be, because the first time I created this series, it was about friendships. It was about Korean, artists, but it was about friendships. Maybe people from the same group. I don't know. Some people were like, I don't know if they were like family, but there was like a strong connection. And in this case, I see certain duos that I see that is for work. They definitely had a project together, they worked together, but they also went through a lot together. And in this case, I'm like, more from the part of Xiao Zhan, he's like, I kind of wanted to be friends, or I wanted to hang out with you, but he was so, there was a lot of drama around him, like why he couldn't meet other people. It seems like the cards were like, he couldn't go out, or he couldn't, meet with people, or meet with his co-star, or meet with a co-worker, colleague, someone like her, because there was a lot of drama around them. Or maybe they were following him and they made it so difficult for him to build this sort of chemistry, when you're like, I want to hang out with you guys. There's also about him, maybe having like a great relationship with her, but also with other actors. It's like they wanted to hang out in a group, not individually, like all the two of us alone. No, it was like her and other people. But the five of Wands, it's like he couldn't get outside, or he couldn't, reach to the place that there was drama. Maybe they were following him, or they were making it very difficult for him to meet. And we have the Lovers. That is that he feels truly sorry to her. With the Lovers, it's like him trying to be super nice and diplomatic, and trying to be like, could it be that his fans did something to her or something like that, made it awkward to her, made it very difficult to her? Because I sense him apologizing. So I'm like, why are you apologizing or trying to explain it? Like, usually they are not like this, but I don't know what happened. Something happened here. It's not, it's not between them, but I think that there's like other people involved that they made it like Eight of Swords. Literally, they couldn't, get out of this negativity. It was very consuming. It was very like claustrophobic even. It gave her nightmares even, I must say. Ten of Swords, the Page of Wands, the Two of Swords, her also, probably if she worked with her, is she younger than him? This actress, Ren Min? Is she younger than Xiao Zhan or more inexperienced? Because there's something about her just feeling very overwhelmed. Like being like, I went through a lot, or maybe they defeated me so many times, or they left me very, I think that it has to do with communication. Maybe a lot of people just said negative things to her that it sort of left her questioning a bit, her her abilities. She's a very passionate girl. We have the Page of Wands, so I see her being brave, and just being, a warrior. I mean, like, I got this. But there was a moment where I had enough. And also the Eight of Swords, crisis. So I don't know if they continue seeing each other, because it feels like, the negativity. Ah, okay. They worked together on a drama, The Longest Promise. Yeah, maybe that that name also for girl. Did she have to wait a lot for him? Because oh my God. Could it be the results or people getting fanatical online, or just yeah, maybe it was her, yeah, very overwhelmed with her emotions. Yes. Yeah. He really wanted to be closer to her. He really wanted to invite her, being like, let's go out, or let's go and get some fresh air. Let's have fun. Let's get out of this, atmosphere, to try to be very friendly towards her. But I think that he also had conflicts, because we have the Five of Wands coming for him as well. So he was like, yeah, I wanted to invite you, or I wanted to do this, but then I had my own issues. Did the light turn off by itself? So weird. Yes. It's just that he's super friendly, but I think that he also has he maybe had to manage issues of his own. Yes. But yeah, he seemed more like experienced. She was very overwhelmed. Yes. Like she's very brave. But the Page is also someone that is just starting. So, okay. Okay, I'm going to continue with, I forgot today is also Gym Day in here. Okay, I'm going to continue with Meng, Ziyi, and Yunrui, the couple of Blossom. Let's see. Couple of Blossom. I want you to see this sort of panorama that I have here. You know, from the part of the woman, Meng Ziyi, I have these three cards. You know, this is the Hermit, this is the Queen of Swords, and this is the Wheel of Fortune. You see how there's these colors that somehow they do match. You know, they are a bit on the grayish, a bit on the bluish, grayish, but it's like the same pattern of color. You know, it's like the same, very similar gray. So I'm sure that she's the rational one. She is like the one that is, she had to study a lot, or she had to prepare herself a lot for the lines, probably. She had to study extra hard. And from his part, you know, from the part of Lee Yunrui, we have the Four of Wands, we have the Fool, and we have the Page of Wands. So see that from his part, there's a lot of yellow, there's a lot of openness, there's a lot of like, let's go into the open air, let's go out, you know, let's celebrate, let's, you know, maybe he had to do more like physical activities, like he had to train outside, or he had to shoot a lot of, you know, action, you know, very energetic kind of scenes. But I would say he had fun, he had more fun than her. Than her. I think that from her part, she's like, you have no idea of how much I had to study. I had to study a lot. She had to study a lot, poor woman. You know, she had a lot to study. Of course that she did amazing, you know, and she advanced, of course. Is she older than him? Because it does seem like, or maybe she's more experienced than him because she got a queen and he got the Page of Wands. So there's definitely a sort of imbalance in their connection. She's more mature, and he I don't want to say he was just starting, but there's something that could it be that it was like a first occasion of him doing something like this when they met. He sort of like is giving me, you know, like beginners, but he was so excited to be here. Like I really think that they had different challenges, but I think that they did amazing. But we have the Eight of Cups that it says moving on, disappointment. The Eight of Cups, moving on, disappointment. So do people ship them? Do people think that there's something with this Eight of Cups? I'm like, you know, yeah, they did their work, they did amazing, but they also moved on. They emotionally, I must say. I think that when they worked together, maybe they did leave all their emotions, and they put a lot of themselves to make this work. Probably it was very challenging, very challenging. And they took it with a lot of responsibility. But I don't see unity. I don't see. I think that also could it be that they were actually separated, that there weren't many. See, this happens because I didn't watch Blossom, so I don't know. But there's something about it, like somehow I'm like, you know, maybe she spent more time recording her scenes somewhere else, and he spent his time recording his scenes on another side. So there wasn't like a lot of reunions or get together with the characters. Could it be? But yeah, with the Age of Cups, it's like, yeah, this was great. You know, I learned a lot. It was a great experience. It was great for my career. You know, I achieved what I wanted to achieve. But yeah, also from her part, you know, with the Wheel of Fortune, she's like, you know, the work is spinning. I'm going to my next adventure. So yes, but really good professional people. Just don't see them, you know. I think that they finished the work perfectly, and they were like, okay, thank you for everything, but mm-hmm. Yes, very professional. It seems like, he probably got more sun and she had a bit more cold, like cold days or cold. Maybe when she was shooting, it was like cold and dark. Could it be? But she's a queen. She's a queen of swords. So she knew, she was experienced. Okay, I'm going to continue with going to continue with 17 Minghao and Shen Yue. 17 Minghao and Shen Yue. Yes, exactly. They're different. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. Does anyone know about the history between, is it Minghao? Is it the 8? 70 Minghao is the 8, right? Well, is him and this actress Shen Yue? Oh my God, he's so charming towards her. Are they friends? Does anyone know? Because I don't remember if someone mentioned this. Maybe they did in the comment, I don't remember. He got the King of Cups, he got the Six of Wands, and he got the Empress. So this is correspondency, this is reciprocity, this is like, I'm open emotionally, I like you, you're so fun, I am, see how the king is looking at her side, he's sort of looking at her, being very gentle, being a gentleman, being sweet, and from her part, yeah, Six of Cups. If they have history, if they work together for a long time, she does have very fond memories of him. Five of Pentacles, and we have the Eight of Wands. So she's a bit blue in energy. She's a bit blue in energy. She doesn't feel worth it. I don't know, maybe something is going on with her, but she feels a bit like undeserving of his attention. Maybe she feels a bit low in self-esteem. But yeah, we have the Two of Wands, discovery. So could it be that they work together in the future? Or they see each other again? Or they collaborate again? Because we do have the card of discovery, so there's movement. There's more plans coming. But she's not sure. She feels comfortable with him because there's a history, there's familiarity, there's good memories together. But she probably at the moment she feels a bit low in energy. Maybe she doesn't know who to trust. But from his part, he loves her so much. He is like, she is amazing. He's super sweet with her. And also probably could it be that they competed or they were part of a group where you had to compete? Because he's showing me like, I won something with her. Like we participated on something and I was a winner, or we were a winner. We won together, or we got money, or we got recognition, or we got popularity back then when we were together. But he's so loving towards her. I think that there's something about him and also the King of Cups that he's praising her. I think that his energy, and usually when I read for Minghao, he usually doesn't display emotions. When I read for him, he's very cold or he's very like not connected with something in particular. He doesn't show his emotions that much. But in here, he's actually in charge of his emotions. And he's like, when I'm with her, she brings me so much luck, or she brings me so much beauty, and I grow a lot when I'm with her, or I participated in things with her, and I seen growth, I seen positivity, I seen maybe the relationship bloom, there's a lot of growth in here. And also him as a man, looking at her, I mean, like, she's a great person. I like her. She's a great person. It's just that I think that she feels at the moment, she cannot correspond him because or there's not reciprocity for her because she feels less. There's something about her maybe feeling a bit, defeated in her own value or her self-image. She's maybe going through something where even if he compliments her, she cannot respond to him. But yeah, that's about to change very fast. Also, she's going to release news or an update or something or she's going to make a decision that is going to unlock. It's going to get her from this. I don't know if she feels pity for herself, or if she cannot see the way out of a situation. But I see movement, and also they're planning something together. So yeah, I love it. Love it, love it. I think they did a variety show together. The 8 seemed like a friendly guy from what I seen in 17 content. He kind of reminds me of Jimmy Natal, soft and chill. Ah, cute. Ah, they have amazing. Look, amazing synastry. Wow. Yeah, I can kind of, but he really adores her. And he's very protective of her because when I was seeing him, I was like, there was something about him being like, I want to let you know that she is an amazing person. Like he wanted me to say it. So cute. So cute. Okay, I'm going to Okay, I'm going to continue with the last one with Dove Cameron and Damiano David. Let's see these two, Dove. The moon. The moon came, guys, for them. Okay, from Dove's part, we have the 8 of cups. Not the 8 of swords, sorry. The 8 of swords. We have the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. And from his part, from Damiano's part, we have the Hermit, we have the Moon, and we have the 10 of Wands. And then we have, the relationship, we have the Moon, that is a fear. Fear. So definitely there's something going on in the relationship that is not okay. There's a lot of shadows, a lot of fears, a lot of insecurities. Are they going to get married? I think that there's something from Dobbs' part that I think that it has to do with these two people. Maybe she thinks that there's people in the relationship that he is with he is with someone else, because she feels like this. She feels a bit like, mentally she feels blocked, like she feels a bit helpless about these two people. I don't know if she thinks that he has something with someone else, or that if there's someone from his past that maybe she's like a bit like fearful about this, or maybe she's jealous, and there's something about like, yes, but you come with someone else. It could be also because I think that this is Kim, but it could be also his mother. Does he have like a young mother? Also very opinionated, very opinionated. I think that there's people that somehow it's not that they scare or intimidate Dove, but I think that they have a strong maybe involvement or a strong presence in the relationship, and I think that they maybe are trying to convince Dove to be something or to do something that she's not comfortable in doing. So she feels the pressure, she feels like a bit like, what am I going to do? I don't feel free. I feel like these people want me to be something else, and I cannot, I cannot get away from them. It seems like, they are haunting her. I don't think that it's her family. But these two people, it is this king and queen of wands. They are very, assertive. They could be very passionate people and just like maybe trying to boss her around or try to get her to decide to do something. And she's like, I'm not comfortable. Like somehow you're stepping on my boundaries and I'm not comfortable with the way you guys are behaving. Like, somehow they're taking away her own willpower, because they intimidate her. And from his part, he's a bit isolated. We have the hermit. So he's not communicating to her. He's not also helping her to maybe get better, or if she has a fear of something, it's like, being like, you have nothing to worry about. We have the moon and the 10 of wands. So he also has fears. He also has fears that he cannot be good enough. Maybe for her, for the relationship, I don't know. I think that he also would be a bit unstable, even if you see him like, like, why is giving me bipolar? Like he can say or express a lot of things and act like he's brave, but actually he's very scared. Like responsibilities scare him somehow, and it seems like he has been holding, there's a fear that he has inside, or maybe it's like a phobia, something that he's trying to hide or trying to be like, well, it's okay, I'm okay, but he is affecting him. It's affecting him and the relationship, because I think that he's so immersed in his worries or in his own unconscious, or he's trying to find answers within himself, but he's not like looking at her. He's not looking at her. This is why these people are somehow, are in her part, they are maybe stepping in, trying to help her, but I mean, I remember when I read for them, I don't know how long that was, but the cards were actually very positive. He showed a lot of like initiative to protect her from anything and anyone. And now I think that he's very much submerged into his own maybe issues. And we have the moon. It's a sphere. So these are very uncertain times for this couple. I don't see. I think that maybe they need to work on themselves individually, because I think that it could be that it's not about the relationship, it's that both of them have unresolved issues. And a relationship is not going to fix this. Yeah. Seven of Pentacles. They need to slow down. I mean, they can work through this, with the Seven of Pentacles, they can work through this, they can sustain the connection, but these are times of uncertainty. And I think that they should take it to sort of review what is going on with them, each other individually. What is going on? Why are these fears in here from both sides? What are these fears in here? Because I don't see them connecting. I don't see them opening up to each other and being like, I'm having this issue. He is trying to act all tough and being like, oh, I got this. It's no problem. I got this. I can do this. But it's not. You're hiding that you are very insecure about, and that maybe he needs a long time and he doesn't know how to ask, maybe a space or what. But yeah, the relationship needs to, grow and expand slowly. Yeah, that's what I have. It's such a shame because honestly, I was, when I read, it was really great. So, yeah, but yeah, she had, accordingly to what she said, she had, not good experiences with past, past partners or relationships. So yeah, it seems like, like he really was really good for her, and we've seen it because they are very public and open about this. But, with the moon card, especially from his part, maybe he has some maybe unconscious fear that he's trying his best to not let it show. And that's problematic, because, if you have something, if you have a problem, just talk to her, talk with her, or, let your partner know. It's just that she's also going through something. So it feels like, they're probably trying to be like, oh, I don't want to bother you with my problems, because I know you have yours, but there's something about them not acting like a couple. That is like, if you have certain problems or a fear or something is going on with your unconscious or your personality and is bothering you, please let me know. Let me know. And also she from her part, it's really hard to see her. There's these people that I'm like, why are they here? From her part, Do you think I should pull cards for this couple that they broke up? Remember I read for them for Sooyoung of SNSD and the other actor that I don't remember his name. It's just that the readings that I do for Sooyoung of SNSD is that she's like this, how can I say, she's huge energetically. I mean, I know that probably as a person or maybe as an artist, you guys also can see it, and visually you can see it, that she has a lot of charisma. So I think that for her, it's like who can match her vibe, because she is like this monumental kind of goddess, and it's not about body or face, or it's about her posture in life. She's a tough lady, she's a winner, she has a lot of personality. So, they worked together for 14 years, I believe. Yeah, I read a couple of times for them. I went back. This is why I remember that I had this series, that it was the duos that make each other shine. And she was included in that live stream. She was included with this actor, her ex-boyfriend, fiance. And I remember it because I went back to that, because someone on TikTok, they found they found the clip, and they were like, "Oh, you read about them," and I got the vibe that he was like somehow, just being very, very nice to her, in the sense that she was the one calling the shots. She was the one. He was like, okay, whatever makes her happy, I will do. But yeah, they also say that it was her, it was him. They don't know. I think that they are like what the other person doesn't have. When you are like, it's just that she is strong. She's giving me diva vibes. So it's really hard to be in a relationship with someone like this. You somehow have to give room for her to be who she is, and I think that this is what he has been doing. He has been like giving her the room, giving her the spotlight, and that's his love language, and I don't know, it's very sad, because obviously they can find another partners, but it's like, how, in the case of her, how do you find someone that can allow you to have this, place, like, mm, they both cool people, yes, but yes, see, that's, yes, very, very different, yeah, very different vibes, like the kind of couple that you're like, wow, them, like, yeah, mismatch, yes. It's just that they 14 years is a lot of years, but somehow it worked, and that's what I said in the reading when I read for them. Somehow it works. It worked until it stopped working, but it served them. I think that for them it was like, okay, yeah, I'm with you. I will stay with you. You are my person. What is his name, Fluffy? I never remember. Sooyoung, I remember her name, but the actor I always forget. See, she's this. This is her energy, the Queen of Wands. And not everyone can be with the Queen of Wands. Do you have his name? Thank you. Okay. Okay, for SNSD, Sooyoung and the actor Jung Kyungho. Sooyoung Kyungho. Hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, I think that the thing is that, you know, this relationship sort of worked for them to, you know, somehow, I don't know if they wanted to satisfy people, family, and being like, you know, maybe people were like insisting you guys should date or you guys would be good for each other. And they were like, okay, as long as you let me do me, you know, we will be together, we will be a couple, but, you know, you will always let me do me, you know. And from her part, you know, the Knight of Swords, we have the Two of Pentacles, and we have the Seven of Pentacles. So I think that she's the one that probably lately she was a bit more like frustrated. You know, there's something about her wanting a change, but you know, when you don't know, you know, you want to change or you know you want something different, but you don't know. I think that there was something that maybe she was like, well, if we wait maybe another year, we could resolve this. I don't think that she wanted to break up. It's just that she was very much like irritated. You know, the Knight of Swords is like the person that is very unhappy, or it could be someone that even, you know, maybe like in their communication she can sound a bit nervous, or you know, she can be a bit like inflexible and attacking you through words, and just being, you know, very annoyed, or just you know, being, you know, the person that wants to argue. Well, I can kind of see her, you know, maybe wanting to attack him verbally, and be like, you know, somehow to get a provocation out of him, because she wanted things to change in the connection. She didn't want an ending. I think that she sort of wanted to wake him up. You know, when you're trying, when you argue with someone because you want to bring out, you know, that sort of fire, maybe something out of him. But I think that she didn't get that, you know, or maybe she did, it wasn't something that would completely satisfy her need. You know, I think that she was indecisive about like, okay, what do I do? Maybe if I wait, maybe if I'm more patient. But, you know, she said certain things that maybe hurt him. You know, it hurt him, because the Knight of Swords is someone that doesn't, you know, when they attack, they spill the tea on a lot of things. And she probably called him out on a lot of things, or she said very hurtful things. So from his part, we have the Tower, we have the King of Cups, and we have the Three of Wands. So from his part, I think that, you know, whatever she said, you know, something about this, you know, his something about inside of him broke. Whatever she said to him, it broke him. It was like him being like, I'm not going to be no longer the nice guy, or no longer the compassionate guy, no longer the understanding guy, no longer. Like whatever she said, it sort of hurt him deeply. And it crushed maybe his trust or something. And he's like, you broke my heart. Like, I don't see heartbreaking here, but there's something about him being like, I'm not going to be that nice anymore. Like maybe he was patient, maybe he was like, you know, trying to be romantic, but then he's like, you know, now that you had unleashed, you know, how you really feel about me, or what you really think about our situation, you know, there's no going back. Something broke inside of him. You know, he's like, I'm not. And the Three of Wands is that, you know, he probably also, there's something about he wants to liberate her from, maybe in this connection, maybe, yeah, he did feel like he was the one that loved more, or he was the one that had more feelings. So he's like, by removing myself from the situation, I kind of give you freedom so you can pursue a better life, so you can go after what you want, so you can, be free, so you can be better, so you can expand, so you can, be free. And I think that this is, his gesture, he sees it like I'm doing something good for you. I'm doing something good. Yeah, we have the Page of Swords that it says curiosity or curious. Page of Swords, curious. So yeah, there could be a bit of, I don't know if they are going to address the breakup, but there could be a bit of, someone spilling the tea or saying something, one of them. People are very curious also, but I think that it's not, I think that what happened is not that unusual. It's something that probably a lot of couples that are together for a lot of years, not 14, but maybe, a lot of years, they reach this level of, where you don't see like, okay, where are we heading? Like, we are not the same people that started this. Like, where are we on our journey? And there's something about them facing themselves and facing each other and being like, well, yeah, we're different. We are no longer the same people. Our relationship has changed. Everything has changed. So, maybe they needed distance, or they need distance. Also, the Page of Swords is giving me that there could be someone younger, because it says curious. So there could be someone younger, like sort of, I don't know if it could be that there's someone new or someone that is interested in one of them. But there could be a sort of rumor about someone, like, I don't know if it's from her side or from his side. But the Page of Swords is like, someone new that is sparking the curiosity in one of them. Thank you for the likes, guys. It does help me a lot when you put the likes. Thank you so much. So yeah, I still have to do the live stream for Friday, and we are in Wednesday yet. We are already on Wednesday. So I don't know, probably I'm going to try to collect different requests, or I could do like a Q&A for people if they have recommendations. I don't know if I'm on time, because Friday is very soon. But yeah, I'll see if I can. If you guys have any ideas, remember to let me know. I know someone asked me for a reading for TXT Jung. I believe he's going to release an album soon. So I'm probably going to pull cards for him. And I don't know if there's something going on in K-pop. I also have to, look for that. Oh, that's okay, Fluffy. Yes, thank you so much for coming anyways, and being here. And if you're busy, don't worry. You can watch the replay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will do like a Q&A. I will recollect different recommendations or questions and choose like that until we enter Cancer season. Then when we enter Cancer season, I will start with the Cancer idols. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, someone said something about an album, so I don't know. We will see. Okay, I'm going to go, guys, because it's really cold. I'm starting to feel the cold here. So yes, thank you so much, Fluffy, for being here with me, for being my company today. Thank you so much. And yes, I will be back on Friday. I will try to collect as many topics as I can. But yeah, thank you so much and have a lovely week. Bye.